McNuggets?
Got to watch the boys.
We got to move on to the Cavs trade. Let's talk a little
Hypothetical Cavs trade. So this happens all the time.
Yeah.
Once the offseason hits, and obviously it's been the offseason for the majority of the teams now. Bleacher Report proposed this trade. Right. So it's basically a Gordon Hayward for Kevin Love swap, but also the Hornets would throw in Mason Plumlee and the second-round pick that they got from Boston. So not their own second-round pick, the second-round pick that they got from Boston in a trade. And then the Cavs would ship Kevin Love and Cedi Osman to Charlotte. Right. And I think for me the big deal is you're looking at Kevin Love knowing that he's only got one more year at that number, so you're probably excited if you're the Cavs. But if you do a trade for Hayward, you got him at that number for 2 years, an even bigger number. So you that's why I don't like it.
So you come to my wheelhouse here. Right? So first of all, I am not moving Kevin Love for Gordon. Gordon Hayward's another person. He stays on the IR.
Can't get healthy.
Although Kevin Love's always hurt too.
No, but Kevin Love has a big contract that's coming off the books here.
Yep.
So I'm not going swinging for Gordon Hayward. You don't know where Gordon Hayward's going to be. I mean, since he left Utah, it's been all like straight downhill, baby.
Yep.
That's what it's been. And Plumlee, he's just a serviceable guy.
Sure.
Right? And the second round guy, the way it goes now, hell, no guarantee the second round guy don't even make the roster.
Do you like the impact that Love has he had an impact on the young guys?
I think with his acceptance of the role coming off the bench last year was phenomenal, right? Because you have to, Bull's point,
I agree.
You have to have somebody there that is cooking some knowledge to these kids. Because these young kids, let me tell you something, they don't know a thing. They don't know anything about being a pro, right?
No.
Somebody has to be there to pass the baton to say, oh.
Is he filling that role?
I think he's doing that. I watch how they gravitate toward him.
Yeah.
He is doing that.
He was
and then the plus side of it is this. That contract coming off the books at the end of the year. He's going to get the Cavaliers some. When I said they were going on the clock, it's giving them some wiggle room.
Yeah.
I'm not trading
Which is why I don't like the trade, because if you take Gordon, now you got 2 years.
You know what's amazing about this is a year ago, 2 years ago, I would have done anything to get Kevin Love off this roster.
Yeah.
The contract sucked. The team was bad. He had those moments where he was not hustling on the court. He seemed like he was being a bad teammate. And it all turned around.
It turned around last year.
He was like, all of a sudden he became a great teammate. Mikey did the 60 seconds with Darius Garland, who's the funniest teammate. Talking about Kevin Love. You think of him having no personality. Brad talked about it. Having that veteran presence on this team. He's that guy. And yeah, Gordon Hayward gets hurt a lot, so does Kevin Love, but I'd rather have the guy who gets hurt a lot that's already here and the team knows him, and he played that role perfectly.
And you only have 1 year on that
1
long
year.
term.
I'm not making that trade.
But the other thing, what is Gordon Hayward doing for you that you need? What I mean, tell me what he does.
On the court.
That you need.
And when you
If I
look,
could have got him 6 years
That
ago.
was in Utah.
Right.
now it also, they just had the graphic up. I mean, Kevin Love was playing when Ricky Rubio was there. He was playing at a 6-man-a-year pace. I mean, there was a lot of games he led the Cavs in points off the bench. He comes out, he was a knockdown shooter, almost shot 40% from three. He gives you about 7-8 rebounds, and he gets that in basically little or no minutes, right? He just not getting crazy minutes last year. He's giving you he's giving you basically what Gordon Hayward is giving you. Plus, he can give you some rebounds on top of that.
Let me tell you something. Boston moved off of Haywood, right? Charlotte appears to be ready to move off of Haywood, right? That should tell you something, right? Gordon, and kudos to the Cavaliers staff because they put Kevin Love in a role that could actually benefit this team, right?
Sure.
That just didn't happen through happenstance, right?
And don't you think, Brad, I think the fact that even when there were injuries, they were careful with his minutes.
Yes.
Because that's why he was able to not get hurt last year, probably, because they were very careful. I thought J.B. Bickerstaff did a great job of not – because Kevin Love always, seems like he would always get hurt. Last year he didn't really have a significant injury for the first time in a while.
Right.
Why? Because they were very judicious with his minutes.
They're managing his minutes,
Yeah.
right?
Playing much less.
That is a key. When
Yeah.
you look at Kevin Love effectiveness, when he was playing 22 to 27
Perfect.
minutes, that's his stick right now,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And you can get maximum effort. Anything above that,
Yeah.
And you're on the risk of getting hurt.
Right.
The question is for the Cavs is, okay, you keep Love, you keep him in a rotation. What are you doing with this draft pick? You get a guy that can contribute.
Yeah.
And then what is the runway for Colin Sexton? How many minutes are you going to give him? How many games to see if it works with Darius
well,
Garland?
you're going to find out one is he even a part of the future here, right? Because they have a good mix here. it really comes down to Colin. Can he accept a role that is going to be what appears to me far different than when he was rolling here?
A
right?
reduced role.
Right, because other people are rolling now, right? So are you going to come back and play the same way you were trying to play before? Because if you are, I'm going to say that's going to be a problem, right?
Well, that won't work.
We're going to stop.
It's
not going to work.
He had
here.
to play differently
Right.
then.
So now you have to play differently.
Can he?
And so can he? Is he willing to do that in a contractual year? The second thing is this, and I'll just be honest with you. What can I get for you on the market?
Yeah, we've talked about that.
What can I get for you on the market, right? And that's just how this game works. It's nothing personal. The people are always looking to upgrade and say, I have a chip. Do I play it or do I not play it?
Do you think it's more likely than not that he's somewhere else to start the season?
So, it depends on who's thirsty out here, right?
Yeah.
When they look at him from the outside, here's a guy that can give you 20-plus points, right? Maybe not in a starter role. Maybe you're looking for a guy to come off the bench with energy. He does that, right? Now, the question is, what he does at a high clip here before he get the injury, does it help me now, right?
Right.
And some would say yes, because we had a slot available here. We were going between a couple different players to see if they could help us out. Maybe we have that player. Again, it goes down to what role are you willing to accept here, right? Because the star of this team is Darius Garland, and then followed by Mobley, right? That is the order of progression now. If you still thinking that you're coming back and you're the number one guy, you're not the number one guy here. It's not happening, right?
I don't know that. You know better than I do. I don't know that he's going to comfortably slide into that new role.
The only thing I'd say to that is he showed himself to be an amazing teammate down the stretch.
He did.
Supporting. I was really impressed by that.
Sure did.
He was hurt. He could have easily, a lot of players would have sat home.
Yeah, you're
and
right
he
about
was not.
that.
And that makes me believe that he could adjust. One other thing real quick, because G mentioned it briefly. You mentioned Ricky Rubio. The team was not the same when he got hurt.
Right.
I'd look to bring him back.
So I would say this to you, right? And I said it was good to see him on the sideline, but I'm gonna just tell you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna just tell you there's rumblings out here like, where is he at? He got a meniscus tear. How long is a meniscus?
Oh, physically.
How long is a meniscus tear?
Yeah, guys have come back from that.
They're like, wait, they're like, let's see.
Yeah.
They're like,
So we know a meniscus is out.
Wait. You mean you're not here yet? So I don't know what was going on behind the scenes, but there were enough rumblings around here in this community about that, right?
No, you're right. Okay.